So picture this. I work in a medium-sized office, and there's this guy named Dave. Now, Dave is not your average coworker. He's the resident hobby guy. You know the type, right? Every Monday without fail, he'll roll into the break room, bursting with excitement about whatever new obsession he's picked up that week. Last month, it was all about sourdough. Before that, he was deep into mechanical keyboards. The guy has a passion for everything. Well, last week, Dave starts raving about fermentation. Kimchi, kombucha, you name it. I'm standing there nodding along, giving him my usual, "Oh wow, that's cool" responses. And then out of nowhere, he hits me with the million-dollar question. You don't actually care, do you? Now let me tell you, I felt awful. Dave's a good dude, just super enthusiastic about his hobbies. So, in a moment of guilt and a desire to connect, I decided to actually learn about fermentation. I wanted to have a real conversation with him. My roommate is one of those people who's obsessed with learning things quickly, think flashcards and study apps, so I thought, how hard could it be? Spoiler alert, I overdid it. By Sunday night, I had spent a whopping 11 hours over 2 days diving deep into the world of fermentation. And I didn't just scratch the surface. No, I'm talking about lactic acid fermentation at the molecular level. I learned the history of fermented foods across civilizations, the gut microbiome, and the difference between wild fermentation and controlled cultures. I could even explain the Maillard reaction and how it relates to fermented flavors. Can you believe that? I even uncovered the story of a 9,000-year-old Chinese fermented beverage found in Jiahu. Feeling like a fermentation expert, I strutted into the office on Monday morning, ready to share my newfound knowledge. I walked right up to Dave's desk and casually dropped a bombshell. "Hey Dave, I think your kimchi method probably produces more histamine than a slow wild fermentation." Dave just stared at me with this look of shock. I kept going, explaining how traditional Korean ongi pots regulate oxygen better than his mason jars. I even mentioned that his fermentation timeline might be off because he wasn't accounting for the ambient temperature affecting lactobacillus growth rates. And just like that, I out-Daved Dave. For the next 4 days, Dave didn't speak to me. I mean, not a word. He wouldn't even make eye contact in the kitchen. Meanwhile, my other coworkers were looking at me like I had lost my mind. One minute I was the clueless colleague, and the next, I'd transformed into a fermentation professor overnight. And the best part? I wouldn't even tell them how I became so knowledgeable. I felt terrible. I tried to apologize yesterday, and Dave just replied, "It's fine," but in the most not fine voice I've ever heard. I think I genuinely hurt his feelings. He hasn't mentioned a single hobby since. I killed Hobby Dave. I became the reason we can't have nice things in the office. The most enthusiastic person in our workplace was silenced because I wanted to impress him. And now I'm left with this awkward tension. I mean, all I wanted was to connect with my coworker, and instead, I ended up pushing him away. It's a wild reminder of how sometimes trying too hard to impress someone can backfire spectacularly. So, here's my question for you. Have you ever tried to impress someone and ended up regretting it? Let me know in the comments below.